Us. Today, I am going to be talking to Ingrid Acosta and Ron Jakubisin. Ingrid is the president and director of MCA Academy, that is in the heart of Coconut Grove. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice to be here.
So let's talk a little bit about your background and how MCA got started.
Well, I have been in education for over 15 years prior to coming across MCA, and I began as a teacher, working within the middle school and high school. Then I went in as being director and eventually got into the role of principal and then president of the school.
For many of us that aren't familiar with MCA, tell us a little bit about the school and how it's different.
Well, the founder, her name is Brigitte Kirchler. She originally only had the MCM, the Miami Conservatory of Music. And when the FCAT first came into play into the school systems, now the FSA, but same concept, she started to notice that a lot of her music students started to bring homework to work on while they were waiting for their music teachers to call them back. When they were finished, and they were waiting for their parents to pick them up. And eventually some of the parents started pulling the children out of the music program, telling Brigitte that they would love to pursue their child's passion, but there was so much homework, 3 hours worth of homework every day, extracurriculars, and they just could not keep up with everything, and the extracurriculars had to go. So Brigitte began researching many curriculums. She came across national curriculums, which, because they are national, the national standards keep us from having to take the now FSA exam, which takes away all that additional curriculum that is now put into the schools that are taking the FSA to teach the children how to pass this exam. It doesn't form a part of our students' equation. So our students see homework going home as homework used to be practice time for something that the students need a little reinforcer for, or something that they didn't get to finish during the course of the school day, and they're taking it home to finish. Never 3 hours worth of homework.
I can completely relate to that because my daughter's at Miami-Dade Public School, and it's a really good school, but we have a lot of homework. And I think it's really changed a lot since I remember when I was a kid, not having as much homework. There was more playtime. And now these kids, even at such a young age, have a lot of homework.
A lot, even the little ones.
It's like, so this is really interesting that they don't have to, you're not studying for the FCATs. And I think that becomes a big deal in third grade for public school.
Yes, because then in the fourth grade is the big writing portion.
Right.
So we have students that, because of this, are able to now pursue the passions that they weren't able to pursue before, and other children that they may not be pursuing passions, but they're just enjoying their time being children, playing, spending quality time with family, or looking at a variety of different things to see if a passion develops within them. So we do have that type of child within the building as Brigitte envisioned it.
That's really cool. What other types, how has school been during COVID? How's schooling been? Let's talk about that.
It has been challenging.
I can imagine.
It has for the majority of people. But it has gone well for us. We began the school year with just the elementary school in person. The middle school and the high school were remote. Then we went into an A and B week for the middle schoolers and the high schoolers, where half of them were in the building during A week and the other half were virtual. And then we would switch the following week. Now we are full in person, but we still have students that are virtual. The parents have decided that they would prefer for them to remain virtual at this time. So we do have a mix of both within the classroom. We have large screen TVs in the classroom so that the teachers can have all of the virtual students in the classroom, as well as the students that are physically present, and everybody is still interacting with each other, and the teachers are doing the full curriculum. So it has been interesting and challenging, just like for everyone else, but at the same time, it has gone through flawlessly without having to make any adjustments to the curriculum. The teachers are doing exactly what they would be doing if everyone was fully in person.
This online learning for some is quite, especially for the little ones, it's really challenging.
Parents, of course, have responded, and have said that they really like the approach that we've taken, and they've appreciated the fact that, our technology and other things that we've done, maintaining the curriculum, not changing the curriculum, and maintaining contact with the students has been a definite plus. The students have not gotten behind. They've maintained the level of study that you would expect if there wasn't COVID-19.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I can also say a positive thing about my observation this school year, because my daughter is doing online. I mean, she's in person at a Miami-Dade public school. And I know it's happened at some, but at our school in particular, it's not spreading at school. Like a kid everyone is being very self-conscious and aware, and self-reporting. So someone's going to call in, self-report. Now we're going to have to be quarantined for 2 weeks, which is always the challenge. But it's not spreading. It's not like now 5 kids in the classroom are getting it. But the whole being out of school for 2 weeks and doing the online learning, and the teacher having to juggle some students online, some in person. It's
a roller coaster.
Yeah. And I think these teachers are so critical to getting the economy back going. I mean, now I'm veering off into another conversation, but they need to get vaccinated. So I know you were telling me also that your school is very high tech. It has really good Wi-Fi, which has really helped.
Within everything that we're doing right now, yes, it has. We have been able to move forward flawlessly. Instead of Zoom, we've been using Google Meet. So when the issues occurred with Zoom, that they were all knocked out, we were able to continue our education flawlessly. So we really have had a great with all of our technology, we've been able to maintain everything as is for the children's education without any bumps in the road.
Approximately how big are your classrooms?
We cap the elementary and the middle school at 12 students per teacher, and in the high school at 14.
Okay. And where exactly are you in Coconut Grove?
In the Mayfair.
Okay.
In the Mayfair offices.
Okay. And I know I was looking, you're not offering them now, but hopefully soon, some of your aftercare programs.
So we do after school. The students can stay to extend their day. We have, in the past, we've had a French club, a Spanish club, yoga. We've had robotics, a writing club, SAT and SAT prep. So we do have a variety of different after-school programs to extend the school day. It's been a little bit different right now with COVID, where some have had to go virtual, but we do have those after-school programs to extend the students' school day.
And if someone wants to learn more about your school, do you offer tours?
Absolutely. We have week-long open houses. We usually have 2 weeks per month that we do them. And during that full week, you may come in at 10:30 for a walk-in appointment. You do not need to have an appointment set. That one, it's since it's open to walk-ins, it may be that you come in and it's just you and me. You come in, you meet with me. I tell you all about the school. I give you a little bit of a tour. It might also be where there's 3 families that show up together. So if you do want to guarantee a private appointment, then you make an appointment for the 11:30 session. So there's a 10:30 and an 11:30 session. But during that week, all we're doing is meeting with me, learning about the school. I learn about your child. We take a look and see if MCA is the right fit for your child, and take a little bit of a tour of the school. And we go from there with the application process.
I should have asked you this in the beginning, but why did you become an educator?
Oh gosh, a little bit in my blood. My mom was a teacher. My grandmother was a teacher. So from a very young age, I was very much always, following in my mom's footsteps a little bit, seeing the need particularly to make a difference in children's lives, because there are so many factors that come into their lives that not just academics, but their social, and the teaching the child as a whole was very much a part of my motivation for becoming an educator.
How long has MCA been functioning or in business?
15 years.
Okay. And what have been, I guess, some of the positives or even like some challenges that we could talk about that maybe that we could share with people about what it takes to start a school? Like, what have been the challenges and like things that we can learn from? And
Absolutely. Initially, when we first got started, it was about getting the word out about the school into the community. It takes time for you to build that reputation.
yeah,
It takes time for things may sound good in theory, but it's
Mhm.
once you have the years of doing what you're doing and how it comes out into the community. So, getting noticed in the community, getting us as Ron played a big role for us.
yeah,
Getting recognized within the community, where initially people would say, "Oh, so where do you work? Oh, MCA Academy. Where's that?"
yeah,
We don't get that now.
yeah.
Now people know where MCA Academy is and who MCA Academy is. So that was a challenge initially.
Mhm.
And sometimes people confusing us with the conservatory. They thought we were strictly a music school. So if their child was a musically talented, they wouldn't come to speak with us. So it was about changing again the dynamics of that. So those kinds of things were challenges. But overall, it's been a wonderful experience because I've been able to do exactly what I went into education for, doing things for within a child-centered environment, which is why I left I taught public school for over 15 years before I made the transition to private school. And part of it was that when I first initially began in the public school system, it was very child-centered.
Mhm.
Every decision made was based on what was in the best interest of the child. And when the FCAT, now the FSA, came into play, it all became about passing this test. At least that was my experience in the schools that I was a part of. And I am glad that I am able to be in a school where we have a weekly faculty meeting, and anytime there is anything that needs to be discussed about a child, it's always about any decision made for the school. It's always about what is in the best interest of the children. Is that truly the end result going to be in the best interest of the children? So that's something that I do take a lot of pride in, because we see the results in the children
Yeah.
that come in struggling, low self-esteem because they have been struggling in other places. We help them, we nurture them, build their self-esteem, teach them their academics, but also nurture their self-esteem and their social emotional side.
Mhm.
And as they go through the years with us, and then we see that child blossom and grow, it's very rewarding.
That
So
is cool.
those are the
I mean, we were
pluses.
talking before the show started. My daughter's in a lot of extracurricular activities, and the challenge is, how do you balance that so that they still make their good grades? That's important, but also you want them to be well-rounded individuals and have different experiences, not even good experience, but just different experiences, because as we all know, that is what makes a human being.
Absolutely.
And my husband and I kind of take the philosophy, we're like, okay, maybe we're not going to be straight A's, but we're not going to give up these activities because they're just as important, if not more. They're all going to learn how to do their math. They're all going to learn how to read and write. And it's just, yeah.
It's about the child being well-rounded.
Yeah.
And if we just focus solely on academics, then you're taking away a lot of different things that
Yeah.
are not going to make that child well-rounded.
Right.
So it's very much about making them well-rounded and setting the bar high within each child's abilities and potentials, and then moving that bar up as the child reaches that bar. So you nurture the self-esteem at the same time that you're working to their potential.
Yeah. Ron, so since you're the marketing person, how do you get the word out? Like, this isn't like, when she's talking about that, I'm like, yeah, how do people in general, like aside from MCA in general, get the word out to people about their business? And
well, we based it initially. We reached out to the community, and we used vehicles within the community to get the word out. For example, there was something called the Coconut Grove Grapevine.
Yes.
In the early days, and Tom Falco, who runs that, we would do a little, like we're having an open house, or we would post something that the students were doing, some sort of, Ingrid's very good. She does these spirit weeks and these kind of fun events, but also where they do experiments. So we would occasionally get the word out through that. And then we learned to use Google, and and our one of our foundations is a Google program where If you're searching for specific things, we show up in search results. And we have advertised in publications like community newspapers, things like that, over the years, to tell the community that we're, a little bit more about the school than you would find on, let's say, a social media. And we've done Facebook and, try to keep the students. The other thing is a lot of it's, once people bring their children to the school, it sort of creates a word of mouth because kids leave a school, but they still maintain some of their friends. And sometimes the parents of those friends find out about the school through, what happened to Jonathan? Where did he go? And, then they find out. So a lot of it, some of it, a good portion of it. And if you look at our website, we have testimonials. We have testimonials from parents over the total 15 years. And we have testimonials from students. And it's all levels from elementary students. And you read and we don't solicit these. These come, when they are you ask the students to talk about their school experience and they'll write something down. And then we say, can we put it on as a testimonial so other people will know what your experience was about. And it's amazing to hear even young students, third graders, second graders, talk about, they seem so much more mature beyond their years when they talk about their experience in school. And then it makes you think back, boy, when I was in third grade, I remember myself looking out the window saying, I can't wait till this is over with. Just get me out of school, And yet we have kids at this school that are engaged and excited and look forward to going to school. And it's a community. It's not just, it goes beyond school. It's become a community of people who want to learn and maybe not just do the math or the science or the reading, but they want to learn more things about life, about, and being part of a thing that's bigger than just a school.
I love that. It's because that's really one of the things. We went to a preschool and Plymouth Congregational Church, and they were big on building community, and everyone was just connected. And that's kind of the thought that triggered in my head when you were talking. And like, I would love to be a part of that. So I might be looking into this. I'm loving everything I'm hearing. So this is all great. If you'd like to know more information, they have a website. It is mcaacademy.com. If you'd like to know more information, make an appointment to visit the school, talk to Ingrid, go to mcaacademy.com. And any last things that we want to leave with the audience before we say goodbye?
Well, on the website and thank you for mentioning the website.
Yes.
They can fill out a form,
Okay.
that an inquiry form. That way and you can do it anytime. We know people are busy and they don't, so we have people fill these things out at 9 or 10 o'clock at night or at 5 a.m. So we'll get back to you. We'll call you, back with more information. But the website has a lot of information on it, the curriculum, the hours.
It has a virtual tour.
It has a virtual tour on it. So in case you want to see what the school looks like, it's a modern school. So it was about three years ago. It was completely built. It's all modern furniture, brand new fixtures. It's a beautiful, beautiful school. So it's all on the website, but so if they go there, it has a phone number, it has an email, and it has a form they can fill out for intake. And
I think it's easy. Instead of and looking for different places on social media, one place, mcaacademy.com.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that. Fill out the form if you'd like more information. And thank you for being with us here today. And we look forward to seeing you next Monday, same time, same place. Thank you. Bye.